With all the talk surrounding the release of Black Myth Wukong, I thought I would try this one out for myself and find out what the game is actually all about. This video will have slight spoilers for Chapter 1 of the game, so if spoilers aren't your thing, feel free to skip over this one. As Black Myth Wukong primarily focuses on boss fights, it's really hard to talk about it at all without discussing some of these in detail. With that out of the way, let's talk about it. From the opening, I was impressed. There was a grand fight that serves as a tutorial. That said, the game did stutter a little with the performance on my PlayStation 5, which was a worrying sign. Despite this, throughout the rest of what I have played, I've not encountered other performance issues. After the introduction tutorial, it cuts to the character you will actually play as during the game. The combat in the game felt fine. I did feel it wasn't as responsive to inputs as other games. For example, when picking up items or trying to get a certain spell to trigger, it all felt like it had a slight lag. I put this down to needing to press the right trigger to input one of many commands, and that also being the item pickup button. As for the combat, I was a little confused by the combos I could do, and the heavy attack again felt very slow. I would have liked a section in the menu that shows you how to combo, and then have a better feeling moveset in general. If there was one, I must have missed it. The main element of the game is dodging. I actually like this as dodging is my usual go-to for defense, as it is often more forgiving than having to parry. You get only one weapon type, that being a staff, so combat is forced to be close range. Outside of this, you will get a few spells and transformations that help in combat. Starting with the immobilize spell, this stuns enemies, giving you free range to attack for a short burst of time. Then you have summons, which is like a spell that does a special move. Finally, you have transform. This transforms you into a previously beaten boss, complete with fresh health bar and unique moveset. The transform spell seems to be very powerful, at least in the first chapter. The main limiting part of combat so far is the stamina bar. It drains when sprinting or dodging, however replenishes itself rather quickly when standing or walking. The mana bar limiting the time you can use any abilities. As far as I can tell, it only replenishes at shrines, which are the game's save points. And of course you have a health bar. Your character can also be boosted by their outfit. The first one, which you can craft, gives a special bonus if you have all 4 pieces equipped. Then you have potions which can heal or cure ailments, the standard things you would expect in this kind of game. One tip is the item that transports you to shrines can be used as often as you like, so don't forget to use it if you need to go to another area quickly or want to rest and respawn enemies. One thing I will say is those that have said this game is like God of War or other action games are really misleading people. I played and finished God of War and it never felt like I had blockers. Sure, some fights were more intense than others and I didn't do things in God of War like the optional Valkyries, but I was able to finish the game with little hassle. Plus, in that game there is a story mode if you truly get stuck, so frustrations of combat were never present. Black Myth Wukong, on the other hand, is a series of small, mostly linear areas that lead to boss battles. More akin to Souls games. I will be honest, my experience with the genre is limited, but I did pour numerous hours into Elden Ring, and I did not get close to the level of frustration I was about to feel in Black Myth Wukong. The difficulty of bosses varied. Some felt too easy, such as the giant wolf, and others too hard. I, for the most part, breezed through battles in 1 or 2 attempts. Even the apparently difficult Wandering Wight was able to be bested in just 3 attempts. One limitation I found in combat was the camera, especially if an enemy is above you. It is a little awkward, and in a tough fight I could see it being the difference between winning and losing. There also seems to be some AI that is not perfect. I managed to have bosses get stuck behind trees or pillars at times. That was how I beat the Wandering Wight. I got it stuck, waited for the cooldown of the immobilize spell, wailed on it, and repeat. Add in transformation and it became a very easy fight. Then I got to the white-clad noble. This boss destroyed my spirit and is actually where I've decided to stop playing the game. I made several attempts, reached the second form multiple times, only to die just before I'm able to beat this enemy. Now some people will say to just get good. Sure, maybe if I was younger or this was my job, I would have all the time and patience to persevere. At present, I don't have the mental fortitude to continually fail, especially after work, so I reverted back to comfort games and came to the conclusion that Black Myth Wukong is a game that's just not for me. If you enjoy this game, then I'm really happy for you. However, if you are on the fence, just be aware that this game really is all about the boss battles. You'll have to learn these enemy movesets in order to progress through the game, and you may die repeatedly, similar to a Souls-like game. I hope you found this impression/mini review video helpful. If you did, make sure you give the like button a push, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!